Button.
What?
Stay.
Audio.
There he goes.
Audio.
I kept clicking the button, but it kept muting again. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right. Okay. So how's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
We got Droop in the house, TC, Lee. Yeah. Anybody else want to pop in the chat? Doop, 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 doop. Now that I know we have audio, I'll just sing the whole time.
So we're going to do something a little different this time. Not much different. I don't know if you guys saw the little trailer teaser thing that I put out. I think I put it out yesterday. We're going to add a topic of conversation amongst all the rally news that we talk about today. Thought it might be a little interesting. We are also streaming on Instagram at the moment too.
Hi, Brad.
Yeah, oh yeah, I see him now. Hey, Brad, I can see that you're talking, but you're too far away for me to comment. So
He just says you joined.
hey. All right, so let's kick it off by talking about what's going on with us here at the channel. As you know, I put out 2 of the Helen Rally videos this week. The main video, and then, of course, the barbecue review. I've got 2 more that are in the works that should come out soon. One is the review of Rider Share, and the other is the review of the lowrider that I rented. So Rider Share will come out first, and then the lowrider will be after that. Rider Share is almost done, so it should be up in the next day or so, probably Saturday, I would say at the least. The latest, I guess.
It'll be a Father's Day gift to all of you daddies out there.
Let's see with what's going on with Alchemy. More dealership delays. So they have reached back out to me, and I don't know how much of this was this week or last week, but they reached out to me and told me that it was going to take another 6 to 7 weeks for painted parts. And I, of course, asked, what is painted parts? What do you mean by that? Do you mean the powder coat? Or do you mean the fender? Or what are you talking
Gas
about?
tank.
Right? Yeah. And they haven't answered that part yet. But I told them I have to have a bike for Maggie Valley. So I said, you can loan me one. You can go ahead and fix it. You can do...
How about you just go ahead and fix it?
You can do whatever you can. I'll check it out for the weekend and then bring it back. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I will be going to Maggie Valley, damn it. So I've got... I'm going to be working with the Breezy Rider guys up there and let them demo their product on my bike. I'm also going to pick up the one that I'm going to use to do a review in the future. So, yeah, obligations have to go. This is really, really upsetting. The insurance company, who I thought would be the problem, not the problem. The problem is the dealership. So, I'm going to get some answers out of them, and then we'll go from there. Figure out whatever it is that I'm going to do. But that's one that I am definitely going to go to. Just like Helen, I have plans, right? So, yeah, as far as what happens, I guess there's a week in between, so I'll let you know.
Droop says he met the Breezy Rider guy.
Yep.
David.
Yep, David. Yeah, he's good peoples. He looks a lot different now than he did when he first started. I looked back at some of his previous videos. Looks like a completely different cat. But yeah, we actually had, well, if you saw the Helen video, you know, we had dinner with him and his wife while we were up there. And his wife was super spunky. He was great. We had a really good time. Terry's his wife, yeah.
She's so great.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, they're really good people, and we're gonna see him again in a couple weeks. So, all right. Did anybody get a chance to go to any of the rallies that were last week? Milledgeville, Mackinac Rally, and Street Vibrations were all last weekend. I was going to go to Milledgeville, but obviously I'm not going to take my Schwinn, right? So I didn't get to do that.
I believe our 13-year-old's bicycle is right over there. You got a hankering for two wheels.
It's a mongoose.
It is a mongoose.
For any of you that remember the 80s. Yep. Yeah, probably not. I did try to do get healthy and get bicycles one year. Did not go well.
The thing about that is you can say, oh man, I used to ride a bike all the time when I was a teenager, but you don't have teenage knees anymore.
That's all true. All right, so Laconia is going on now. This is its last weekend. And there's a couple of other smaller rallies that are going on right now too. There's Sparks Oklahoma Bike Week. There is a bike week in Durango, Colorado. There's an Indian motorcycle powwow.
Oh, fun.
In Maggie Valley, which I was unaware of because I don't ride an Indian. But TC, you do.
Yes.
But I thought it was really cool that they called it a powwow instead of a rally. That's awesome. It's a motorcycle powwow.
Yeah, and are we renting an Indian?
We are.
Hey, TC. Get this. Can I tell him?
Yes.
So we are going out to Texas in a few weeks. And obviously we wanted to rent a bike while we were out there. And of course, he normally goes for the Harleys. But because of, I kind of have a thing for Indian motorcycles as well. So we have decided to rent a Chief.
Nope, it's not a Chief. It's a Roadmaster.
Oh.
Which is one step up from the Chief.
Oh.
Is
it more comfortable than a lowrider?
It's a Chief with more luxury features as always.
Ooh, I like luxury.
Yeah, they didn't have an actual Chief out there. I was going to get one just like yours, TC, but they didn't have that. Whenever if I rent a car, a truck, a bike, whatever, I always try to get something that I don't have, right? Usually I try to get something fun, right? When I was traveling for business all the time, I would rent, convertibles and all these weird things because, hey, if I wanted something that I could buy, I'd just buy it. So
I think that's a great idea. I mean, if you're going to rent, why don't you rent Fantasy? You know what I mean? That's something you've always wanted to try. And you've never driven an Indian.
No. Jeff tried to talk me into it at... where were we? Daytona?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why you didn't do it.
It was that they were closing. It was a hassle.
Nope.
No, they weren't. They were
not
at
closing.
the end. Yeah. He barely made it in to do
We're
this.
about to have a domestic situation.
The Roadmaster, I understand, has a
windshield.
A retractable windshield.
What?
Well, it's not retractable. It's adjustable. It's electronic and it moves so that you can direct the wind. But that's going to be weird. I've never
that is super
even
fancy.
Heard of anything like that. Yeah. So it evidently it doesn't, I don't think, go up or down, but it goes this way so that you can direct the airflow. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
That is
for
weird.
sure.
Why would you want it?
I don't know. I've never had it.
Oh, okay.
So we will find out.
I'm very excited about riding an Indian.
Don't fall in love with it.
I'm in love with alchemy, but bitch has been in the hospital for a while. So if I'm going to step out on the lady, I'd like to step out in Fantasyland as well.
All right, so what else is going on this weekend? Hog Rock in Cave in Rock, Illinois is going on. There's also, somebody was on from West Virginia last week. Do you remember who was from West Virginia? Was it Tiger?
I can't.
Or was it Egghead? Or Evil Rick? It was one of them. Anyway, there's something going on in Cabins, West Virginia. It is the Southern Cruisers Riding Club State Rally. Now, I have a friend of mine who's in that club, not in West Virginia, but it's a riding club, it's not a motorcycle club. For those of you that know the difference. But I don't. They're accepting people, other people to hang out with them. It's not a them only thing. But I saw it was West Virginia, so I thought I would mention it. There's also something else going on in West Virginia. There is the second annual Hellbender Hootenanny.
Well, that's cool.
It is in Mount Nebo, which I have no idea where that is.
That can't be right.
Yep,
Where is it?
Mount Nebo, right there. It's a dice run that is benefiting local area high schools, which makes me think it's small. But I thought it was cool to have Hellbender Hootenanny. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's see. And then, so that's all is happening this weekend. Next weekend is Junebug Boogie in Cookeville, Tennessee. I haven't been to this one either, but I have heard about it. It's one of the ones that I've been aware of. Have any of you ever been to Junebug Boogie? I've heard about it. Haven't been to it. It's not far. It's up in Tennessee. I would be going to it. Okay, I'm not going to bring that up anymore.
Yeah, you are.
But that's going on June 20 through 23rd. That's next weekend. And then also that weekend, there is something called Harley Rendezvous, which is in Pattersonville, New York. So that one is, let's see, I've got a, there's Junebug. I'm not paying attention here. It's Harley Rendezvous Classic. It seems to be older bikes, which is interesting. But yeah, haven't been to that one either. Don't get up to New York too much. And then there, of course, is going to be Motoblot. Now, Motoblot we're not going to this year either. We had planned on it, but it's next weekend. My bike is obviously not going to be done next weekend. So we're not going to Motoblot. But we got some movement on the video because we went last year, so we did an episode of it. And some guy decided to challenge me on the efficiency of wind farms, not knowing that I used to work in the energy field and know an awful lot about wind farms. So that happened today. Probably people that are preparing to go to Motoblot were looking to see what it was. That's what these videos are for, you know. These videos don't go up before the event; they go up afterwards, so that people that haven't been can see what to expect when they do go, right? So people like to know what to expect, what they're going to see, what to do, what not to do, where they're going to get screwed, where they're going to get a good deal, what's good food, that sort of thing. So that's kind of one of the main reasons that we do these rally videos. So I had never heard of Motoblot in Chicago until last year, which is when we went. We went because we were invited to be in the Gasoline Alley bike show. They have a bike show up there. They actually have two bike shows. They have a normal bike show, then they have a builder show also, which I think is great that they split the two. But the first stage of the bike show is mail-in. You have to send them your information, picture of your bike, that sort of thing, and you have to be invited to come into that competition. So we got invited and we went, and we did not win, but we were there.
It was cool. A lot of hipsters.
Yeah. So that was good. And then, of course, the weekend after that, actually the day after that starts, we are going to the Bike Riders movie locally here. We're going to do that here in the Atlanta area. I don't think any of you guys that are on are from the Atlanta area. But I encourage you to go see this movie, and then we can talk about it the following Thursday. I saw they have a lot of behind the scenes that are out now. And so I saw some of the behind the scenes. There's some information about this movie that I didn't know. One of which is the fact that it was owned by Disney. It was supposed to come out last winter, and Disney sold it. So that makes me wonder one of two things. Either it was too rough for Disney,
It didn't make the gate quota.
which pleases me, or they didn't think it would make any money. That does not please me.
Or it didn't make the gay quota.
That's true. It didn't fit the agenda.
LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ
Yep.
quota.
So we're going to be going to that. We're going to be doing a review on it. I would love if you guys go see it and tell me what your thoughts were as well. If for those of you that may not have been out here before when we talked about it, it is a movie that's centered around the origin of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club in Chicago. It is set back in the 50s and 60s. It's based on a photo book that is rather famous by a guy named Lyon that has captured a whole bunch of photos from that time period back when the whole motorcycle culture was really, really starting to take hold here in the United States. It started really hitting the Hollywood genres and that sort of thing. So anyway, he took pictures, and then the director, his brother, I believe, had this book. And the book has photos, and then it also has a bunch of interviews from people there at the time talking about the culture. And so what he did, the guy that wrote it, was he went through there's no story, so he went through the interviews and made a story linking the different conversations together. So interesting. I don't, like I said, there's a really good cast. There is some concerns about whether or not it's going to be any good because of the whole Disney thing. Actually, Disney rejecting it makes me like it more, I think.
Probably. It's probably a good litmus test.
Let's see. So, and then what else is going on that weekend? Rumble Through the Valley is going on that weekend. And then after that, so 3 weeks from now, is the... I'm getting way ahead of myself. 3 weeks from now is going to be the Route 66 Bike Week in Oklahoma. So that is something that is one of those 21 and up places too. And Route 66 puts on a big rally, and then they also do these little things throughout the year. So that is going on in Oklahoma. We had somebody from Oklahoma last week that was here. So that's going on. And then, of course, is going to be Maggie Valley. So Maggie Valley is the 28th through the 30th. We will be there for that, as I said. That is Thunder in the Smokies is the official name of that one. It sits up in the Blue Ridge, not Blue Ridge Mountains, the Smoky Mountains. Helen is the Blue Ridge Mountains. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be going up there, having a good time up there. That should be awesome. And then on the 4th of July, we're going to be doing some riding out in Texas near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. She had mentioned that we're going out there. We are, and if anybody is going to be in the Dallas-Fort area and wants to meet up with us to do some riding, reach out to us, social media, in the comments, our email, phone number, all that stuff's on the website. I'd love to meet up with some more people while we're out there. I actually have no idea what we're going to be doing because I'm not the host.
We're going to a rodeo.
Well, I know we're going to a rodeo. But a friend of ours that used to live in Atlanta moved out there, and we're going out there to see them. And so, yeah, we should have a good time. There is something going on out there while we're out there that's in Texas. I don't know how close it is. It's the Longhorns Annual Freedom Fest. But I think it's a dealership event. It's not a big rally. It's a dealership event. And it's not the dealership that we're that's right next to his house. Yeah. So, but that is something that we might do while we're out there. I don't know. That is up to my friend to tell me all of that, whether we're going to do that or not. And then there is the first week of July, the 3rd through the 6th, is the Iowa Freedom Rally. Now, Leland, who's on here, is the one that told me to check that out, and I did. It's got a lot of interesting things. It's got a bike show, a rodeo, mud wrestling, because,
nice.
you know.
Wait, chicks or dudes?
I would assume chicks. And then it has a cool down contest. I don't know what that is unless it's just spraying chicks with water, which is what it sounds like. Then they have a tattoo and beard contest. I've never seen a beard contest. That would be
for chicks too?
Probably not. That's probably one of the things for dudes.
Maybe.
Then, of course, they have burnout pit, fireworks display. They have a sled pool, duck races, foam party pit, and then, of course, a whole bunch of vendors. They also have 3 major live music acts that are going to be there. Buck Cherry is going to be there. 38 Special is going to be there. And the Marshall Tucker Band, or some derivative thereof, is going to be there.
It's a tribute band?
Well, it's not a tribute band. It's the actual band, but there's probably one original member in it at this point. I don't know that, so don't yell at me if you're a big fan. But Buck Cherry was at Daytona a couple years ago that we saw there. So in 38 Special, I actually know the guitarist for them. He's from around here, and I've actually played with him at my church. So
TC is a fan of 38 Special.
Yeah. So that's going on in Iowa. Now, Leland, have you been to the Freedom Rally before? It looks like it's a pretty big deal.
He said
Oh, you tended bar there. Interesting.
Wow, since 2016.
So you go on a regular basis. So tell us your thoughts about it. How big is it? I don't know if you can compare it to any of the larger ones that most people know. It looks like a good time to me. Usually when something has a abate's name in front of it, I think it's going to be small because the Georgia abate is not very active. But that does not seem to be the case in Iowa.
What is abate again?
Abate is a political lobbying group on the behalf of motorcycles. I can't remember what it stands for. Association of Bikers and Terrorist Environment. I don't know what it stands for.
Probably not, though.
But yeah. So Leland, tell us where you bartend at too. So if anybody watches this, they'll come by and see you and say hi. But yeah, so that should be a good time. We didn't see mud wrestling in Alabama, which is the time that we watched the wrestlings. But we saw, what was it, shaving cream?
I just... Sorry. Yes, it was hot shaving cream.
Yep. So
hot shaving cream.
And then they have a sled pull. What is a sled pull? Are we literally dragging somebody behind your bike? Is that what that is? That's not one that I'm familiar with.
You say sled pull?
Sled pull, yeah.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Sounds like a December type of activity.
All right. And then the weekend after that is going to be Gettysburg Bike Week. And that, of course, is up in Pennsylvania. So that's going to have live entertainment, poker runs, tattoo contest, bike show. They have a parade. Homecoming has a parade too. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then they also have a burnout contest, stunt shows, the same stuff that you always see at these places. I haven't been there either. That's, again, in the Northeast. Have any of you guys ever been to Gettysburg? Let me know that as well. Let's see, what does he say there?
Leland says, we average 8 to 10,000 attendance.
8 to 10,000, really?
10? You mean like 8,000 to 10,000 or like 8 to 10,000 attendance? We have a pole barn that's called the Beer Barn and a grain bin converted to serve drinks. That's cool.
I think I read about the Beer Barn when I was on their website. Some activity is happening there. So yeah, that's awesome. Is that Beer Barn is where you do your bartending?
Your tending of the bar. Do you participate in any mud wrestling?
Oh goodness. So let's see, and then after Gettysburg is going to be Little Sturgis. Now, Little Sturgis is another one of those 21 and up sorts of places. It's an adult rally. It's, however, pretty well known because of its name. They call it Little Sturgis. It's for people that don't go to Sturgis, the big Sturgis, right? I guess.
In Sturgis.
and it's in Sturgis, Kentucky. Yeah, but they have all the same stuff that you normally see: live music, bike shows, poker runs, live music. Camp Easy Ride is going to be there, which to me lends it some credibility because Camp Easy Ride usually doesn't set up shop at smaller events. So, what's he say there?
He says, "I did, then been serving in the bar or in the bin for 6 years now."
Okay, cool. So Camp Easy Ride is going to be there. Now, I'm sure most people know what Camp Easy Ride is. It is it's a guy that basically sets up this camping area. He puts his own tents up, then he rents out the tents. I haven't done it. I've seen it. It looks pretty cool. But I have not participated in Camp Easy Ride yet. It is costly. It's not a hotel, but it's not the same as bringing your own tent either. So I haven't done it. I think it sounds pretty cool, but haven't done that. All right, and then we have Harley Homecoming. Now that's going to be July 25th through the 28th, and the people that are going to be there, music-wise, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jelly Roll, Hardy, The Offspring, and Cypress Hill.
Insane in the membrane.
2 of these I don't know. You know them.
Yeah. You don't know Jelly Roll?
I don't know Jelly Roll. Well, I've seen them, but I don't know anything about
He's
them.
country. Outlaw country.
And then see if you can hit the wave and tell them hello. Hey. Oops. We're interacting. And then...
so many cameras, so much technology.
And then Jelly Roll, I think I've seen. He's a big dude.
He is a big dude. He's got great music. It's outlaw country. You actually probably... You wouldn't mind it.
And who is Hardy?
I don't know Hardy.
I don't know. Do y'all know who Hardy is? Anyway, they're going to be at Harley Homecoming. Now, last year we went to Harley Homecoming, and of course we have a whole series on our going up there to it. And they had Green Day last year, who I wanted to see. They had Green Day and the Foo Fighters.
And Joan Jett.
Mm-hmm. So we went to all the concerts and everything last year. This year, we're going to go up there, but I don't think we're going to do any of the concerts because it's Harley, so it's expensive. So I think we may stay out of the concert hall part and not see them and just do the rest of the rally. To me, the most fun thing there was doing the run around to all the different dealerships trying to collect the...
Except the roads are crap.
The roads are garbage.
They're beautiful. It's beautiful sightseeing up in Wisconsin, but crappy roads.
But while we were up there, there's lots of dealerships that are within driving distance. And they were doing a... I can't even remember what they called it. I think it was called a push run, maybe. But they had commemorative poker chips at each one, and then you collected them all from all the different dealerships, and you brought it back to Harley headquarters, and they gave you a prize. What the prize was, because I did it, what the prize was last year was a branded Leatherman. So I still have that. It's wonderful. I actually haven't used it at all because I actually have a Leatherman.
Well, it's Harley branded, so you can't use it. You don't want to get it dirty. It's too expensive.
But it was fun, running around, seeing all those different spots. There's something set up at each one of them. So it was pretty cool. So we're going to go out there again, though I don't think we're going to do the bands. But I'd love to tell you the riding is great. But the roads are horrible. Matter of fact, I lashed out at Harley last year, telling them, "Come on, guys, it's in your backyard. You invite people from all over the country to come. Fix your roads.
You literally
give them a grant.
You literally yelled at Harley for Wisconsin's road system.
For yes, I did.
You should write a congressman or a senator.
Harley should make sure that it gets. They have enough power.
I know we can blame Harley for everything.
They could do it if they wanted to. All right, and then after that is, of course, going to be Sturgis. And then Sturgis is August 1st through the 11th. And then after Sturgis, there's something that's literally called a Sturgis after party. And that's going to be in Depew, Oklahoma. It's another Route 66 thing. And then after that, there is the Easy Rider Rodeo in Bloomville, Ohio. That is late August, early September. I've never been to this one either. But Easy Rider, I'm assuming it's being sponsored by the magazine, Easy Rider, right? But I haven't been to it. If any of you guys have been to it, let me know. Yeah, so that's what's going on coming up soon with all of the different rallies and whatnot. So if you guys hear of any more things that are going on, please let me know. We're dealing basically, I'm trying to get at least 1 month, maybe 2 months in front of things, because I want people to be able to come on here, find out what's going on, and then research it and plan to go. And then after they go, they are welcome to talk about their experience, that sort of thing. But if I wait and talk about things the week before they happen, nobody can plan to go if they weren't planning on going. So that's kind of the plan there. So now I have a question. We all have a passion for life on two wheels, right? Whether you are an adrenaline junkie or you just enjoy cruising around, or your riding is based on driving around town, being a what do they call it, a grocery getter or whatever. Everybody, you own a motorcycle for a reason. But I wanted to kind of kick off the conversation about riding style. Do you prefer to ride, calm on open roads, or are you more into city riding? Do you like the challenge of twisty turns? Do you like the thrill of pushing the limits and doing catwalks and tricks and that sort of thing? What's your riding style? And then tell me why. I, for one, I've done all of these things, particularly in my youth, and I am perfectly content to just go cruising around slowly on the motorcycle. I am more about being out in the open with the wind in my face, and not going fast is no big deal. I have been on some people. We have in the mountains. We of course have lots of twisty roads, and I've gone on runs with people who love that. Laying the bike down and blah blah blah. I have no interest whatsoever in putting my bike in the side of a mountain. But I understand it. Everybody likes different things. Some people, chase, are adrenaline junkies. They chase that thrill. I am not that guy.
TC likes to cruise slowly now, too.
Yeah. When I was young, I used to do motocross. Jumping things, riding catwalks, doing donuts, all of that stuff. And I did it all the time. But I rode a motocross bike. I didn't try to do it on a touring bike, right? But there's people I'm sure you've seen on the interwebs, people that are literally, riding catwalks on a Road King or a Street Glide, and that is just asking for an accident, in my opinion. I haven't popped a wheelie on purpose in quite some time. Now, the bike that I was just on up in Helen, the lowrider, was very, very light, and it made me want to do fun things. I didn't, but it made me think about it, for sure.
Not with me on it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm.
Of course, it's a lot less lighter when I'm on it.
There's particularly sport bikes. You see them acting absolutely crazy, in my opinion, where they're going 120, 130 miles an hour through Atlanta traffic. Just today, I saw somebody doing lane splitting. He also had shorts on, and
Flip-flops.
I don't know if he had flip flops, but he definitely had shorts on. and he's lane splitting up the road because of traffic, which is not legal here in Georgia. I don't know if it's legal wherever you are. It's not legal most places.
It's not smart anywhere.
But yeah, and it's when they do that, they of course have their little Japanese engine that's just whining, wee, and they come up, from behind you, and it can catch you by surprise. And to me, being caught by surprise means you might get a door thrown in your face, right? So I don't. There's usually those are a bunch of young folks, that are
showboating.
Yeah, they're trying to tempt their fate, if you will. They think they're invincible. Actually, I stopped doing all that stuff not because I was scared or worried about dying. I didn't want to pay for the damage that would cause if I wrecked the bike.
Grown-up problems.
Oh goodness! I mean, I'm going through a bunch of shit right now.
You can't afford a hospital bill either.
I'm going through a bunch right now, and it was just a trailer accident. Not something that I really want to do. But I have Alchemy's a show bike. Okay, so she's kept nice all the time. That's one of the reasons why I had to take her in when she got damaged. I missed the days when I was, in my 20s and doing the club thing, where I had a cheapo motorcycle that I didn't care how I treated it. There's freedom in that for sure. You just all abandon, just go run around and do whatever you want to do. So I can appreciate that. I can appreciate people not caring what their bike looks like. I do care what mine looks like. I would like to have one that I don't care what it looks like.
Maybe one day.
Some people have more than one bike. Some people on here have more than one bike.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people on here have more than one bike.
So yeah, I would like to have one.
They might not have a convertible sitting in their garage right now, though.
Yeah, that's her telling me to sell the car so I can get another bike. I would like to have one that's for fun. Not that Alchemy's not fun. She is, but
you're too old for fun.
I want one that I don't have to care about as much.
You're still going to want to ride Alchemy more. She's so comfortable.
Yeah. I just want a light one to go. They have a.
To do what with? What are you going to do with a light bike?
I don't know. Go do catwalks down the street like an idiot.
No, you won't. Because you're not an idiot.
They have a dirt park here. I can't remember the name of it. Do you remember the name of it? There's basically it's a place where you can go dirt bikes, four-wheelers.
Really?
Yeah. You can go on all their trails, and they have. So yeah, that's something that I haven't done either, but I've thought about it. And I think that would be a fun thing to do. It's not Dunwood. It's Dunroven, done something. I can't remember what it is. But I've never been to one of those either. I didn't know those were a thing. I actually found out about it from my pastor at church was going on some weekend he rides. And so he was taking his son. And I'm like, what is this you speak of? Where are you going? Place to have fun and not be on the highway?
Egg just joined us.
Hey there, buddy. So I just think that would be something that would be pretty awesome to do. But I don't imagine I'll be doing it anytime soon. But look, did I freeze? It looks like I'm frozen.
Oh, no, that's probably me. I hit a button.
Oh. Okay. Have you guys ever done anything like that? What are your thoughts on the way that you ride? Most of the folks on here have said so far that they like a relaxed cruising ride. I think that I haven't done a survey of the age of all the people that are on the stream here, but I think that a lot of people, when you're more wizened, probably think that way. Whereas, the younger kids run around on their crotch rockets but I don't know. I understand it for every single different person. See, I just got on and go.
He just gets on and go. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I personally like to ride in a city.
Particularly at
I'm
night.
a city girl, though. That's why.
Particularly at night, though, with the
Yes.
lights and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, riding around during the day is cool, too. When we were in Chicago, it was daylight, and that was really cool, but I also love that city. But we rode around at night in Atlanta, and it was just remarkable. I guess there's just such a vibe in a city anyway, and when you're in a convertible or on a motorcycle, you really feel the vibe, and it's, people look at you, and so it's kind of fun to be seen, and it's just I love riding in the city.
Now, does anybody on here do long distance riding on a regular basis? All of us do long distance sometimes, but one of the guys that I stayed with for Bunka Biker when I was at Daytona, he does these long distance riding challenges where he is on his bike. He has certain destinations he has to meet, and it's not the Cannonball Run, but it's very similar. You can only eat certain amounts of things. You have to stop a certain number of times. You have to be a certain place by a certain time. It's a competition. I can't remember what it was called. Cherokee something? No, what was it called? Do you remember?
I was
the thing that Ken did.
Oh, the taco run?
No.
You're talking. Oh, that's got the crazy,
the
weird
big one. Yeah,
Native American name.
Yeah.
It's like the.
I haven't done anything like that. I don't know if you guys have.
Starts with an N, I think.
I can't remember. But there's also something called Ride to Eat that he was telling me about, which is Ride to Eat is actually a group on Facebook where people run and explore stop at different places to eat food. And then they come back and report on it. What does he say?
So TC says lately 2 hours is about as far as he can ride. Droop says he's only been riding for 4-ish years, so he's still working on skills. He also says if you have an astigmatism in both eyes, that's what. Oh, Egghead says he loves the city at night. The lights and colors bring everything alive. And Droop is making fun of him by saying, "Yeah, if you have astigmatism in both eyes."
Yeah,
Don't listen to him, Egg.
I think that riding through the city when the city is quiet is nice, which usually happens early in the morning.
I like it when it's busy.
Oh, yeah?
People out milling around. Yeah, I think it's great. Especially like when you're in Midtown where there's like a lot of people dining outside, walking around. There's music kind of outside. It's definitely different. Because, being up here in the northern part of Georgia, we're in the mountains a lot. We're in rural areas a lot. And not that that's a problem. It's beautiful. But I think I see that far more than I get to see real city life. And I'm born and raised in a big city. So I love the vibe. I love it.
Yeah. I also like going through the country, too. I like to ride. But I don't chase the thrill of going 150 miles an hour. But there are people that do. There's older people that love to do the twisties and running super fast and all that, and good on them. I'm just not that guy, so I was curious how you guys were on that same thing as well. But yeah, I like city riding, I like riding around town. I like, as long as I'm just chilling, cruising, enjoying. I don't like traffic. The stop and go with your clutch hand, no, that's not fun. And Atlanta, of course, has plenty of that. But I don't like being in the rain either.
Oh, God.
Which that made me think of. We were stuck in traffic and in the rain in a freaking monsoon in Florida earlier this year.
Droop says that cities are too people-y for me.
Word.
I like people.
Yep, you do. Yep. But, I think that different strokes, different folks, people like different things. And I just really am not one of those folks. I'm sure you guys know people that are like that too, that kind of chase the thrill of running. Yeah, back roads, little traffic. Yeah. Now I also want to do, and I'm sure everybody's thought about this, traveling from one end of the country to the other.
Iron butt thing?
Well, iron butts are lots of things. There's lots of different ones, but yes, that of course would be one. But I would like the whole Route 66 where you go all the way across the country. I think that would be awesome. It's a bucket list thing that I will not be doing in just a few days. I will take my freaking time, which is why I can't do it right now because, of course, everybody has to work. But I think that would be something that's really cool. Go out, see the country, take your time, not worry about, all of the chasing things and running and stuff.
I have a friend that was my childhood friend growing up, and I got kind of close to her parents, and then as we became adults, I'm more friends with her parents than I am with her these days. Anyways, but Jack is the name of her dad. Jack waited until he and his wife Terry retired, and as soon as they retired, one of the first things they did was do Route 66.
Yeah. As a friend of mine, actually the one that's on Instagrams, he's got a camper, and he does that. He likes to travel in the camper and run around. So I don't know. Maybe when I get to retire, we'll look at getting a toy hauler and run around all over the place
TC
as well.
says he doesn't seek the twisty roads; he seeks the canopy roads.
I'm a fan of canopy roads as well. Yep. We went to when we were in Leesburg. Our Bunker Biker host down there led us through some really cool roads down there as well. So that's cool. What's he saying?
Egg says, my dad took me on a cruise in his 55 Chevy when we thought I was passing. Then I get... Wait. My dad took me on a cruise in his 55 Chevy when we thought I was passing. Then I get better than he passes. Oh, honey.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Well, I'm glad you got to...
It's good that you got to go on that trip, yeah. I got to go on a trip when I was younger with my father from Atlanta all the way up to New Jersey. He was an airline pilot, so he was flying out of New Jersey, and so he had to take a car up there. And so I drove with him up there. It was the first time I went through Washington, D.C. and saw how horrible their traffic is up there. Their road system makes no sense. We got stuck on their perimeter and couldn't get off.
Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
Yeah. But, yeah. 55 Chevy. Antique cars are cool, too,
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so great. I mean, honestly, like my dad, me growing up, we had Corvettes. We had a 63 to 65. And I think it was always my dad's intention to take it on Route 66.
Yeah.
One of them on 66.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome. The, let's see, we were in a race.
He says we were in a race. I told him he better not win.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there's things. I mean, I would like to do that with my son, but he's not interested at all. That's the other thing about having children is, you can want all you want to, but they have to also, So, but, yeah, good stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's what I had for today. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Let me know.
Egg says, don't feel sad for me. I'm 54. He was in his late 70s, and we had good lives. Well, that's great, honey. I think that's really great that you got to share that with him.
Yep.
That's lovely. A lot of people don't even get to have those kinds of experiences with their families.
My dad got me into motorcycles when I was super, super young, because he was in a motorcycle club in the 50s and 60s. When they were cool. And, he was a mechanic. And so his group of buddies would ride around and find people that was broken down, and they would fix their cars. So they were kind of a good Samaritan sort of thing. But he had the whole two-wheel thing and exposed me to it really early on. And, of course, as he got older, he no longer had a motorcycle. And so he wanted to get a bike from World War II. Of course, he couldn't want something simple, right? And so I was trying to make a way for him to get that when he passed. So we never got to do any long distance riding or anything like that. But that would have been awesome. I would have cherished that as well.
Egg says he grew up in the club life as well.
Yeah. Yep. Fun stuff. Yep. Thanks, TC. We had a good I rode my first actual motorcycle when I was, I want to say 6 years old. One of his friends took me on their bike, and I believe it was like a Goldwing or something. But we're talking 70s, guys. So that's a long time ago.
That's the first time I was on a motorcycle. It was old Goldwing.
And but my first bike, I talked about it last week. I was 5 years old. It was one of those little electric things. So, yeah, fun stuff. All right. It's all good there, Egg.
You didn't bring the mood down. Well, maybe you did. But it's all good. We get to share some interesting stories.
Anybody else have a tearjerker story they want to share?
See if this will make a heart. No, it doesn't.
Nope. Oh. All right, guys. Well, if you have nothing else to talk about, we will call it a night. And, if anybody has any plans for the weekend coming up, let me know. If you're going to do anything fun, that's always a good thing to know, since I can't go anywhere.
Egg says, feelings mean we are alive.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, you have a good night. I'm going to play us out of here. And we'll see you all on the flip side.